Or, yeah, 5:40, 5:45, somewhere around there. 25, 30 minutes. All right, here we go. How you guys doing out there? James Humphrey with our new hit show, Real Talk with Real Men. I got my co-host with me, Kyle Stanley. And today, on our first episode, we're getting into what makes a real man.
Okay.
Kyle, thoughts, imprints, anything?
That is a very ambiguous question.
It's a very broad question,
Yeah,
most definitely, because
but-
you got so many aspects of it.
Yeah, I think for me and what I value most, I would say what makes up a man is being responsible, being accountable, being dependable, and being aware as well.
Mm-hmm.
Have to have some awareness of your environment and a provider to some extent for yourself and for your loved ones if you have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would most definitely say honesty.
Yeah.
Because even with real men fuck up all the time.
Yes,
You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
being able to be honest with yourself, be honest with everyone else about the situation,
Yes.
most definitely honesty, trustworthy.
Yes.
And, you know, trust your boys with your money, trust your boys with your girl, that kind of thing. I would most definitely say that men, or to say even real men, aren't exactly born real men. It's most definitely a journey.
It's definitely a journey.
Yeah,
maturing
because
process.
Even I can admit that I had my times of being sort of a bitch in some aspects of life where I've like done something that wasn't exactly real mannish. You know what I mean? But as long as you learn from those experiences,
Yes. Absolutely.
and
we're ever learning.
forever learning. I think that most definitely makes a real man.
Yes.
Parenting.
Parenting is
Jesus.
receiving it and giving it. Huge role in that.
Yeah, I got 2 kids. You got
I have
one.
one son.
And so I guess I get the best of both worlds because I have a daughter and I have a son. My son is
Nice.
7.
I would like to have a daughter.
Yeah, they're the most definitely the. I don't say you love them more than your son, but you love them most. You love them most definitely differently than
There's
your
a different
son.
sentiment in it.
You know,
yes.
so I give you an example. So if my son falls, and starts crying, I say, "Hey man, get up, walk that off, whatever."
Yeah.
But if my daughter falls, starts
Yeah,
crying, I say, "Hey, come here,
you
baby,
babying her
I
up.
got you, you good,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean."
Princess.
So it most definitely is different.
Yes.
When it comes to like work,
Yes.
dude.
Being dutiful, being accountable, being responsible in those aspects, man, applying that to work.
I think that for me, when it came to being a real man, when it came to work, was probably the hardest one because I've quit
Okay.
a shit ton of jobs.
Yeah.
Walked off a bunch of jobs, just said,
Okay.
fuck this shit, I don't want to do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So, even when I was married, had kids, and even when I didn't have kids or whatever, it was more like, oh, I don't want to do this, you know what I'm saying? And then we grow up in this culture, now where it's like, it's not so much frowned upon when people walk off a job or something like that.
Everything's
it's
moving
like,
so much more rapidly. You don't have
Yeah,
the
like
time
it's
to
really-
invest in a
yeah,
long tenure somewhere.
it's like really, really bad
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
turnover rate.
yes.
And I most definitely understand it because obviously you want to get paid what you're worth,
Yeah.
but you don't really know your worth until you start the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously you want to move up, and if you got degrees and everything else that goes with it,
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing. But I work with countless people where it's like I can't quit the job. I got people to feed. It's like, oh, I can quit. I can walk off right now.
Yeah.
They will kind of left me stranded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, man, really? Like,
I always say keep your eyes open for opportunity. I myself have gone through a number of jobs in the past, and over my whole working career, I've never been sentimental about a job like, oh, there's this built up loyalty to where I've put so many years in, or I owe them something, or they owe me something to where I can't leave, like a pension or a 401k or just a promise of any factor. I always try and line up my next move before I, exit a job, but I definitely choose my time when I feel like it no longer serves me in a positive way, mentally and financially, because I gotta take my mental capacity home. Gotta be in the right mindset for my family, for my child, my now child in the last 3 years. Yeah, that's a factor I have to think about as well. And whatever I'm doing for work, how that affects them in my physical abilities. So whatever mental mind state or whatever physical capacity I'm in when I go home to them, it has to be serving them in a satisfying, positive way as well.
Yeah.
I had to take that into account. So
Yeah.
that's something that changed as I grew past my 30s. You know?
What would you say would be your worst job compared to your best job?
My worst?
I'm trying to think of my worst job. I've had a lot of worst jobs. Like I
Man.
worked in mental facilities. I worked for the sheriff's department. I worked for TJ Maxx. You know, I worked for.
Man, I never had like. For me, it's never the work. It's always the people.
Is it?
And just different interactions with certain people and situations. I feel kind of excluded sometimes, kind of like an outsider or a loner, but I'm one of the most productive, I want to say assets to whatever company or operation I'm in. But I always have or encounter problems and difficulties with peers, management, or whatever it may be, to where there's like just a passive aggressive tension, or just you just feel like someone's going to turn something negative on you at any drop of a dime. And whatever the existing relationships may be, they may be there longer than you, or they may have family relations there, they may have friendship relations there or whatnot. I've encountered all that stuff to where it's just like, bro, you got all these odds stacked up against me that make it more than what it should be, which is work. You know what I'm saying? We come in here to do a simple job, a task, cut and end our day, go home to our families. But when you're working around certain people, other people, you have to play off of their temperament that day, their demeanor that day. What is their body language saying? And that can dictate if you have a good day or a bad day in some situations. Like, man, I don't mind the work pretty much anywhere, but it's the people I work with. It's just not always the best thing.
Definitely on that. I would say, for me, I've had plenty of jobs where the job sucks and people are good.
Yeah.
The people suck, the job is good.
As well.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But most definitely shine on the jobs that I had where I worked alone. I was completely by myself. Like one job, I worked at a gas station one time. Yeah. In the middle of nowhere, like in like Larned, Kansas, whatever. And it was only me from like 8:00 p.m. to like 5 or 6 o'clock a.m.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the lonely man. Yeah, boy.
And then it was only me cleaning up the store, and then you get all sorts of people.
Oh yeah, the late night randoms.
Yo, dude, random ones. And I love the job itself, but at the same time, it was just the work and everything else. The people was like, what the fuck am I doing in this fucking gas station, man?
How is this serving my future?
And then I wasn't married and didn't have a kid, so I was just more or less just stacking money. But at the same time, I only got paid like $10 an hour. Yeah. So I would say at the same time that was my best and worst job. Yeah. Ever. I mean, other than that, I worked at shitty places like FedEx and all that stuff.
I've done office work. I've done accounting, receiving. I currently work in a grow operation for marijuana.
Oh, there you go.
That's pretty cool. That's relaxing. That's just a part-time situation where I just grow some plants and chill out for 8 hours a day. That's pretty cool.
They just changed that in Missouri, right?
Yeah, it just became recreational in Missouri.
Ain't that crazy? Yeah, that's something.
Progress.
That's
called progress, man.
Oh, man. What makes a real man? Timing, dude.
Timing,
man.
Huge factor.
Dude, I can't, just working in the entertainment business, I can't express timing.
Yes.
That's like
respecting others' time.
Yeah, that's like my pet peeve.
Showing up on time
when it comes to timing. I have this 15-minute rule.
Yes.
So if I let you set the time and date of the meeting, whether it's for acting, producing, whatever. You set the time and date. In that time and date, I get up there 5-10 minutes early. And I set a 15-minute limit after the time of the meet. So if you're late in that 15-minute window, then I'm gone. You know what I mean? And then we'll never be in the same room ever again. I'm not joking.
Yeah, I mean,
I've had people, call, text me after that 15 minutes. Oh, where you at, man? I'm here. It's like, oh, I left, man.
Yeah,
you getting there late?
That's the importance of time, man. And giving your time. You have to be stingy with your time. As you grow older, you see all the places where you lost time, where you squandered time. So, yeah, it becomes more crucial as you get older, especially me with my son. I definitely feel time pressure.
Yep.
Wanting to be the best for him.
Is he walking? He's walking, right?
Oh yeah, he's 3.
He's 3, walking and getting in.
Bossing around. He's doing everything.
It's about the same. He's the same age as my daughter.
Yeah.
She bosses around and patience.
Yes. Patience.
My daughter cut her hair the other day. I told you about that.
Every day.
Like she has this she has hair all around here. She had like things like here, but now when you get here, it's like it's all gone.
There's a little bit more character.
Yeah, it's a little less fuzz. So I kind of left that to her mother to deal with that department. I deal with the boys. I had to cut the boy's hair the other day, and his hair was like afro, but it gets all like curly and shit. You know what I mean? It took me about 45 minutes to cut his hair because I was squirming and moving everywhere. But it was a jungle.
My son rarely lets me do it, but when he does, he clean him on up.
I'm trying to think what else makes a real man.
You said honesty, that was a huge one, bro.
Honesty's a huge one. Admit when you're wrong, that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been situations.
Sacrificing pride type situations,
Yeah, sacrificing.
Because pride keeps you from admitting you're wrong in a lot of situations, and all it takes is an apology.
Yeah.
Sometimes pride will let you extend that apology, man.
So you more think like, I apologize, but she apologizes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Them or they, whoever it is. Yeah. Definitely have to admit when you're wrong because it's all a learning process. That's part of that continual learning and maturing and honing in on patience and understanding, because you look and analyze at the ways that you make mistakes and things, and then you extend that grace to others for when they have shortcomings.
Yeah, understanding is a good one, because there are some situations where if you don't understand someone's situation, it's kind of hard to place yourself in their shoes and shit. Yeah, understanding is a good one. Yeah,
and that takes a while, man. Looking at it from someone else's point of view is hard, and it involves you looking at yourself with a magnifying glass, and how, or I guess being self-aware and how what you do affects others. How maybe your subtle tones and underlying movements, things you say and don't say, what people take from that. You definitely have to invest a little bit of time into, investigating that.
Yeah, I would say being selfless. Not selfish, but selfless. I think that there alone makes a real man. Because then you think about the things that you want out of life, the things that you need and all this other stuff, but then putting everybody else's others' needs before your own, especially with family. It most definitely takes a toll on you, but at the end, you know what I mean? At the end of the light of that tunnel, it satisfies you knowing that the people that you're, sacrificing for is
qualities as well.
Is
looking out
is
for
getting
your team.
met. Leadership's a good one.
Yeah,
that's something you don't learn at school.
No, man. And you can be a leader, but you can be a bad one. In any circumstance. You can't be a horrible leader. You will always be a leader, but what kind and what fashion do you go about it?
Usually, when it comes to leadership, it's indecisiveness is what makes bad leaders. How many bosses have you had that couldn't make a decision on a certain task or something like that, and then you're kind of just standing there hanging, in the loop,
wheels,
like, hey man,
waiting for the ship to sink, man.
Like, what you gonna do, man? I just make a decision, so I can make a decision. I can make a decidecision,
right? But I know my decision, honestly.
I'm making my decisions based off your decisions,
right?
Because I had a few bosses when I worked at a mental facility.
Okay.
where crazy people, you know. What
I
I'm
had an
saying?
uncle work in Osawatomie.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that. I know that place.
Yeah.
And so a lot of decisions were made sort of last minute, you know, kind of rolling with the
Rolling with the punches.
rolling with the punches, and that's it kind of gets people hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
gotta be on your toes and prepared in a mental facility.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sudden spontaneous things that can
a
go
lot
wrong.
of trouble calls and shit like that.
Yeah.
People don't know how to
Gotta
make
get
decisions.
yourself out of situations like that. Man, I do remember, just on the issue of a bad job, probably the most horrible thing I did was deliver furniture in the city. I delivered furniture back in the day for a little, probably about like 4 months out the summer, in the summer months.
There you go.
And I worked for Aaron's Rental
Okay.
in Kansas City, man.
Is that place still a business?
Well, I don't even know if they're still there, honestly.
Dude, I drove past some place, not to interrupt your story or anything. I drove
you're
past
fine.
one place called a Rent Center.
Yeah.
And I was like, is Rent Center still a business? They still
They have that and City
Lord,
Rental
man.
or something like that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, man, I used to work at Aaron's, bro, and we had a kind of a shifty manager that would talk fly and talk jazzy to customers on the phone. And then he'll send me out as a driver and kind of a delivery technician and things. He'd send me out to collect payments and do repairs on these people that he just was talking very aggressively to on the phone.
You more or less pissed them off.
You know what I'm saying? You show up as the representative for the company, and all they want to do is, you know, jump on your back. It's like, bro, don't do that. Don't do me like that. And we're not in the best area. This is the hood, bro. You don't know what these people's attitudes and what they want to do once I get to their house. So yeah, I definitely had to leave there quick. But that would probably be my worst memory of a job. Like I say, it's the people. The job, installing furniture, picking it up, delivering, taking it away. Fine, that's easy. You working with someone that wants to do things underhanded and in a sleazy fashion, then I just can't be comfortable with that. Sacrificing your safety, sending you out into these places with no care or concern for your well-being. So definitely have to look out for yourself in those situations and make your exit as soon as possible. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what makes a real man. What's my definition of a real man?
Being humble.
Humble? Yeah.
I wouldn't say, well, how much of a factor does that lie on the scale though? Because can you be a good man and not be humble?
Yeah.
Be boastful about all the good you do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do a lot of things that people don't see.
Yeah.
At least I think I do.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things that people don't see. Like I've given free rides when I was doing Lyft and you know, things and that stuff. And normally that stuff doesn't bite me on the ass later on. It's usually when I'm trying to do something good for bad people. You know what I mean?
That you know are bad.
Yeah,
that you
it's
know
like
this is probably going to be a setback for me. But
maybe
I'm gonna get my hands dirty.
You know,
anyway.
being part of a real man is letting people know or tell people no when they need to be told no.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
because
Yes is just as important as no.
there's been some shifty people, you know, that probably shouldn't have helped out.
Yes, we all go there, and you just got to learn that lesson as it comes, man. You kind of disappointed in certain people that do teach you that lesson.
Yeah.
You can't be trusted, or I can't help you as often as I would like, or the ways that you would want me to. But hey, man, you got to be thankful for it because it saves you a little bit of pain down the line sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know because I experienced it, you know, in real life. You get in life what you put out. You know,
Yes,
do
I
good.
believe in that.
You do good things happen to you. You do bad things happen to you. But on the other hand of that, you have to be well aware that bad things happen to good people.
Randomly.
Good things happen to bad people. You know what I mean? So I think if you understand that concept, but be sort of an optimist, you know, think of the positive.
Try to find your silver lining.
Yeah, silver lining, and when things happen, like with my car situation, I totaled my car, you know, because some lady, you know, pulled in front of me, and my car was my primary income.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then I got rewarded with buying a brand new car. You
Yeah.
know, with new mileage and new loans and all the other stuff. And then they more or less paid. The insurance paid for the old car.
Yeah.
You know, so even though I got into an accident, totaled my shit. You know, good. You know, came out of it. You know.
Yes.
So. Can't complain too much about that.
I went there as well. I got my car totaled right after I paid it off just a year ago, so I know exactly what that pain is like, bro. I know that, man. But it was a blessing. I got a truck and I got a motorcycle out of it. So
I've actually never learned how to ride a motorcycle, man.
you should.
I hear it's
You
fun,
should. It is amazing.
but at the
It's
same
amazing.
time, it's like, do I want to get on it?
Start slow. Start slow.
I also never learned how to drive a stick either.
I don't know how to drive a stick myself. I just never had that opportunity. So,
And I'm actually surprised that they still make stick cars.
I mean,
You know,
yeah, but
like who are these people?
enough people still drive them.
Who
But
are these
shit,
people driving stick?
man, a lot of ladies will drive stick, man. Surprisingly,
Really?
yeah. A lot of guys that are still into racing and things like that, they'll prefer a stick just so they can, you know, pull on it how they want. But
Yeah.
I just never had that opportunity, man.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think we're good. I think we're good.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, it was.
How
That's
we
usually-
got there?
Yeah, that's usually how it happens.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's our pilot episode for Real Talk, Real Men. Look forward to more conversations with real men
I had a great time.
on real conversations.
Yes. yes.
Tyler,
Kyle Stanley.
Kyle Stanley. That's right. Kyle. I can edit all that. We'll see you guys next time.
You guys have a good night.
James Humphrey.
Hey, we running with this bitch. Go ahead. I didn't know if you were cursing. I heard you say shit. I was like, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
I know for next episode.
Yeah. Next episode we cuss as much as we want to because I own the network. Well, not the network. I own the channel, so I can do or say whatever the fuck I want to.
Wonderful.
So there we go.
Dope. That was dope, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do more of this shit every week.
Man.
Every other week.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Maybe get some more guys in there because it helps with the conversation.
Yeah. Did
you know?
anyone email you yet?
No, I didn't get any emails.
Okay. All right.
But then I still need to-
touch base with.
Yeah, I still need to post that stuff on the website. And then I'm thinking just maybe one more stool because then I can put the camera in the middle and then get the wide angle lens that I have on there now.
Mm-hmm.
That we're doing.
I'm gonna fuck on my bike.
We are still recording though, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.